kids together. They've done so many philanthropic work together. A lot of times people feel, when I'm divorced, I go my way and all
right.
goes. But I see it that this Bill Gates' ex-wife, he was really an empowered woman. For the mere fact that her husband kept retrospecting on the times,
despite the money he has. He's rich. Come on, he's rich.
So automatically, you can agree with me that money does not buy happiness.
That's exactly right.
Honestly, Dara, I think you summarized everything I wanted to say. I was about to say that. Are you saying that even with money, there's still space for human being and empowered woman?
That's right.
Do you understand? So now let's imagine that Melinda, she was just a housewife, you understand, with some inconsequential presence in Bill Gates' life, you understand?
Yeah.
After the divorce, trust me, I'm not sure he would have been talking about her, but then she filled in a very big gap. Like there's a space that money cannot fill. Do you understand? I agree with the fact that money can buy a lot of things, but there are some key things that money cannot buy, and one of it is companionship. You can pay someone to be with you, but the person cannot be a companion to you because it's more than just having a mere conversation. So it's really sad. So this thing can be either ways. You see now, divorce can either affect the man or the woman. And I love the fact that he owned up the fact that he
still
is
misses the wife.
exactly.
Yeah.
You understand?
When we
Sad.
talk about divorce, it depends on the cases or the circumstances surrounding that particular marriage. Now, in his own case, people are really commending that Bill and Melinda seem like the perfect pair. They had 3 children and set up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Oh, they even had a foundation becoming the world's greatest philanthropist. So, marriage is a beautiful thing, but when some people don't understand the reason why they get married, it becomes a problem. And then when some people don't, I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know.
I'm doing that because once you lose the reason,
you've lost it.
You've lost it totally.
When people don't
There won't be
understand,
any reason to continue.
yeah, when people don't understand the reason why they do a thing, there's going to be abuse of that particular thing. So, for whatever reason they got separated, well, should I say I'm excited to still understand that he still misses her.
Yes.
Not because I'm a woman, but he knows the value she added to him. Not just becoming Bill Gates' wife, Melinda Gates, but what are the values that she actually added to this man's life that he can never forget? There's some people that you walk into their life and they're like, I'm missing Dara. If Dara were here, becoming the Dara. If Dara were here, she would do this. Oh, Dara would have done this. Oh, Dara would have checked if my eyebrow is perfect. Oh, Dara would have done this and that. Now, that's the same way I feel Bill is feeling for the wife. Oh, if Melinda was here, maybe this pet wouldn't be, littering my corridor. Why is this dog littering my corridor? Oh, if Melinda was here, that guy wouldn't back into my house. That kind of thing.
That's so
sorry.
Very little, but then there's a space for it.
Women, there is something about an empowered woman when it has to do with being together with your spouse. You have to make sure that you see to it that every woman, an empowered woman, is like a salt. Do you know how it feels like when you're eating, you're having your best delicacy, and then you realize there is something missing?
We actually 27 years.
27 years of being together. It's not child's
married
play.
for 27 years. Well, I don't want to dwell on that. So sorry. And I don't know if I should say keep grieving or.
It doesn't mean
You should wish them
another wife.
Becky should wish them a comeback.
Okay. I'm asked to wish you a comeback, so I wish you a comeback. I'm wishing you a comeback.
Or maybe you need another person.
No. You know what? I have something to say. Wishing you a comeback doesn't necessarily mean that you take the advice to actually need a comeback. Do you need a comeback?
That's the question.
That's the question, and I leave it there and get into the second chapter.
Or maybe get some other person.
Are you actually proposing?
I'm not proposing.
Yeah.
I'm just suggesting. Do you understand?
What kind of suggestion? Look at your eyes. This girl.
Please stop
She's
it.
a suspect.
No. I'm calling it's money kind of leave it there. Alright, so to our next chapter right now. Well, this is not really an interesting one. Do you understand? But then that's why we keep talking about an empowered woman. You know what you want. You cross your T's and dot your I's because I don't know. In fact, let me just dive right into the story.
Please.
Now, there's this trend going on social media about a girl, a lady. She's a lady.
Girl.
She's a lady that's been dating this guy for more than 4 years, and
4
he
years?
engaged her. But then got to find out that he was getting married. In fact, that he got married to someone else, and he spent the night right in her house, like a Friday before his wedding. He was with her.
Relax, let her land.
Wait, let me just finish.
Yes,
So she said something. Let me quote her verbatim. She said, "I just found out my fiancé of 6 years, Becky, got married on the 16th, and I was with him 3 days before he got married. Just found out this morning on Facebook he was married. I have never felt so much pain all my life." This is terrible. He proposed last year. He made lots of promises to me, and yet he still went behind my back to get married to someone else. Lord help me.
Really?
Lord help me right now too, because I'm fuming. Why would a man do such a thing
this particular
to a
story.
woman? Okay, I'm not going to come from the fact that I'm supporting women right now.
Of
But
course,
then,
you should be supporting women.
I should be supporting women, but then I want to be very fair. I'm an objectivist, all right? Now, the thing is, even you as a man, how amazing, how
be able to
amazing
drink
can
water
you
and drop
be?
the cup?
Do you understand? How do you eat and it passes through your throat and you belch, like you feel satisfied, and you are having this kind of mindset? You're planning something this big for a woman you once loved. Not even a woman. Okay, just imagine this woman going to be your daughter, or yes, or your sister, and another man did it to her. You will fight. You're sure going to fight. And then you women too.
Lead a fight. Lead a protest to the door. Now, let me say something.
It's paining me.
No, calm down.
Can you calm down?
Now,
please?
the lady in question, right? You got engaged or entangled. Let me use the word of a famous preacher. You got entangled with a man, and you've not done your homework. How? Just how? And not 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, women. 6 years, right? For 6 good years, even though I know that a lot of people can pretend, but I mean, he was so good at it. He plotted his plan very well. So much that you couldn't see the missed calls.
She was just
So much that you couldn't see any other lady coming around. Or does it mean that the other lady was not living around, like that town that they were living in? So the girl was maybe in Port Harcourt, and then this guy is in Rio.
Becky, let me show you something.
She
said something. I want to read social
Mm.
media reaction. Because you're making it look like I'm supporting
I understand.
or I'm
your point.
overreacting.
I understand your point perfectly well, but let's look at it from this other angle. Now, for the fact that they've broken up, I mean, there's no big deal about it. But
Yeah.
please hear my side of the story.
No problem.
Now, I like it when a man owns up to this kind of work between the both of
Simple.
us.
We part ways.
I mean-
Come on.
Why on earth would you go as far as
6 years.
6 years? Okay, if you wanted to get married to a dark girl and then you're dating a light-skinned girl,
Okay.
I mean, what would have stopped you from saying, "Hey, babes, I don't think we can walk this line. I don't think we can continue this relationship because I crave for that girl." I personally, I admire people like Uyume's complexion. She's so unique.
Are you trying to,
I'm not trying
like,
to bust
really
your bubbles. I'm not
admire
trying
right
to
now?
bust your bubbles. You get now, but you're waking up to like 3 days and man.
Now let me read
No.
what she said. She said that means from this reaction she wrote right now, I mean she was aware or somehow she knew this girl. She said, "Carol, you didn't see him when he had nothing. You didn't see him when he was staying in one room. Now that he's doing well as a medical doctor, you decided to come from nowhere to steal him. May my God may you both never know peace. I curse you both." That is very painful.
Well, what I would actually say is, ladies, before you jump into any relationship or before you stroll into any relationship, please
A long
do a
time.
lot of findings.
6 years.
Like seriously, 6 years is. Are you learning a job?
a course in the university.
And there was no certificate
Like,
whatsoever.
seriously, are you
End of
learning a job?
Yes.
So I'm saying that an empowered woman is an informed woman. You won't even fall for anything. You won't just walk into a relationship just because the guy is cute. I mean, relationships are more than being cute. The face is behind it. Really get to understand, why does this guy want to be in a relationship with me? Or why do I really want to be? Do I love him? Do I have reasons why I really want to be with him? Does he have reasons why he wants to be with me? I mean, don't just jump into, and then do your findings. If it is too good to be true, who are his friends? Where are his friends? For crying out loud.
You know the dark sarcasm in this thing is that she was just a year away from being a medical doctor like the guy. Because 6 years of relationship, you're just 1 year away from getting your certificate. Honestly, and that's why I call it dark
It's
sarcasm.
heartbreaking anyway.
I'm sorry.
So hard to
So sorry, okay? Sorry about that. Take a deep breath. Drink water. Take a minute. Wake up.
I think you work with my own philosophy of life, which is it's better late than never. So you use the leftover time and start all over again.
Yeah.
Stop sobbing, darling. You get up, dust yourself, get something doing. This should teach you a lesson. So you dust yourself, get something doing, learn a trade, help another woman. Organize seminars and advise other women not to be a victim of the same thing you just recovered from. That could be your own way of discovering who you really are. So some
Seriously?
pains are necessary in one's life.
Exactly.
Make use of these very pains. Don't waste your pain, darling.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
sorry. I mean, I'm grieving unhappy here, so I can't take the next chat her. Let's just take a quick break, and when we return, Empower Her continues to go anywhere. You're welcome back to Empower Her. It's still your favorite women's program here on Spectrum Television with my beautiful ladies, gorgeous Dara and superb.
I like the fact that Becky said gorgeous Dara.
Dara.
See,
Let's
so
sell my
mindful.
brains up.
I should be giving you some words of
Isn't it
affirmation
what
every morning.
I know what I'm going to do for the both
Sure.
of you. You know what, guys? I'm taking them for a vacation. Then I'll just sit down and watch them manifest.
This is the best part of this show, Becky.
You guys. Alright, so let's dive right into the show. So today we're talking about the role of a pastor's wife in the church. You know, many times people get this mix up. Some persons are like, I prefer to talk to the pastor himself. I think I should go talk to Mama about it. So we're like, no, I think the pastor will give me the right vibes and all that. So question is, why? Why do you actually, come up with that kind of preference? Okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but what is the brain behind your decision to talk to the pastor than the wife? Well, some people get to, not to understand that the pastor and his wife are a team. So they see them as two separate people. They're like, okay, Papa, please, I came to speak, especially the ladies. Papa, please, I came to talk to you. Oh, I have headache. I need you to lay your hands on my head. It's not bad. But how do you want the wife to feel? Why are you smiling? Are you
Opposite attract. I mean,
Why are you smiling?
I think we're all guilty of this, right?
Oh,
No,
really?
I am not.
Speak for
guilty.
yourself, girl.
Well,
I am not guilty.
I don't have to speak.
Yes, please go ahead.
Well, I there's something about pastors. I am not supporting the fact that women, especially, should be going to pastors for every single thing. Something like headache. I mean, it's said that your body is the temple of Christ, right? So God dwells inside of you, and you have the same power as the pastor. So you can lay hands on your head and say, "Hey, headache, you better run up." You can do that. But then I feel some of these women tend to make the pastor's wife feel insecure.
Yeah,
Do you understand? Because of first body language, and then secondly, you are going for counseling and you meet the pastor's wife in his office and you feel uncomfortable. Sister, what
Sit down there and tell us why you were here.
Why are you here? Yeah. Do you understand? So I feel we should also try to give reference and respect to the pastor's wife, because trust me, whatever you're seeing in that man of God, this woman is the one investing there.
No, let me say something. I know you're about to say something, but let me say something. Calm down. I know you're about to upload, so just chill. Now,
There is a church girl.
I am.
A lot of people fail to understand that the pastor's wife, yes, God called the pastor. Even if she's not Pastor Mrs. Do you understand? She's Mrs. So and so, and the man is the GO of the church. She also has gifts that God has planted in her that is going to be relevant for the church, for the workforce, for the ministry. Either maybe her gift could be maybe during counseling or something to back up the pastor, or to make sure that my husband, you're going to get married, okay. Maybe she can see through with him when he's preparing his sermon. Oh, okay, I've noted some grammatical. Don't put it like this. Put it this way. She sits back when the pastor is preaching. She sits back to watch the way the congregation is maybe receptive to the word. Okay, she can say, I'm pointing out somebody now. Maybe it didn't go down well. What you said, and then they come back together. She is his watchman. In quotes. But some people will not understand that. They will prefer, pastor. Even though some persons actually have their reasons. We've had controversies recently on social media. Some people say, this is why I cannot speak with the pastors. And they've stated their reasons, which to them is valid. And very soon we're going to have a guest, and she's the pastor's wife, and she's going to she's going to do justice to this question. So, hold up, Dara.
Spin it up. I like being practical.
Oh yeah.
When it has to do with practicality, I love dwelling much on experiences. Personally, I am very close to my pastor's wife. Okay. I could remember the last time I spoke with my pastor was I think during his birthday, for his second birthday. That was the last time we spoke. But on twice or daily or weekly basis, I'll be like communicating, because I got to know my pastor first, and then the wife, and then there were so many things that endeared me to the wife, and then I just found out that she's this person that you can really talk to. She could really understand the language where you were coming from.
That's
but
right.
There are things you cannot tell a man.
She's a woman.
There are so many things you cannot tell a man, because you feel how will I start? How will I begin? Where do I start?
You know that some pastors, they see act as fathers. And mothers understand better, especially coming from a daughter's perspective. Do you understand? There are some things, when it comes to relationship, and you're going to meet your pastor, he is going to answer you based on what he's going to be very rational about the answers.
Okay,
not trying to now.
I'm in a relationship.
A woman, the wife, you can say that, but the wife is going to come from the lady kind of perspective, like, I have been there before. You understand? Sit down, girl. Now, how do you feel about this person?
Yeah.
These are what the things that the Bible talks about marriage, or talks about love. Can you cope with this? Can you deal with this other one? I'm not disputing the fact that some pastors are really called in for relationship, but I'm just pointing this as an example of how these women have affected some person's life positively.
No.
And we tend to overlook it, which is so unfair, honestly.
Right. Now, we also understand that the role of a pastor's wife is not at the back of the church. Now, I read an article where some pastors' wives were, said maybe the pastor is in front of the church and she's not permitted to be in that same role with the husband. Who made the rules? So why is that kind of outdated standards still going on?
You know what I keep saying, right?
Now, some places,
dead people's philosophy.
Thank you. Now, some places are actually holding up to that standard, like, you're a woman, so sit behind, let the man sit in front. Not just because this is an empowerment program, but we are trying to make you understand that the same way you're giving honor to the pastor, that same honor should also go to the woman too. Because she is the one, when this man comes back to the house, she is the one that understands his emotions. She is the one that understands the pressure he goes through. She is the one that understands the days, the nights that he had to sit up and study and prepare for the program, or for the message that you are sitting down there to enjoy. So why should we push her to the back?
Can I disagree?
You will not.
No,
Go ahead.
I beg to disagree.
No, let her do it.
I think just start with something now. Number one, I think the amount of respect people measure to the pastor's wife is dependent on how the pastor himself has placed the wife in the
That's
church.
another point there.
Secondly, if Mama is the kind of person that if I walk up to her, she gives me this nasty attitude. I am the pastor's wife. You don't do that to me. Next time, information, words are very cheap and they travel really far. And then I get to gist with some other person. I went to meet pastor's wife, and this was what she said to me. And the reception and everything, how she received me, her reception was not so warm, you understand? And someone else goes and feels or gets the same treatment from her, there will be a problem. So you don't blame some churches or some church members by treating their pastors more honored than the wife. It could be the wife's fault, or it could be the pastor's fault, because however, you say the person we follow. You understand? If you tell me you have a loving wife, she's the brain behind everything, I'll sit back and do some, I'll start thinking, okay, if pastor is actually honoring his wife like this, who am I? I need to measure the same, you understand? And another thing is that they are allies. They work together. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the women's fellowship in the church, it's a very important moment.
That's right.
Even if you're going into politics, if women don't support you 100%, you're this close to winning that.
That's right.
Yes. So we are that powerful, you understand? So a pastor's wife is an ally with the pastor.
Some pastors don't allow their wives to kind of, maybe because the
Not
council of
some
elders.
pastors. Let's say in some churches.
Some churches rather.
Yes.
Now, maybe because the council of elders have already come up. Oh, please. Yeah, maybe because we have deacons, deaconesses, or elder, and then they say, sir, she's not fit. But they don't have, they have vague reasons. Like they don't have a concrete, okay, tell me why she shouldn't,
Speak well. Train her.
For going on now. Or she doesn't dress well. She's fat. She's
Why would
slim.
someone say that?
Of course, people have very flimsy excuses why a woman cannot attend something.
Lord have mercy.
But I want to say something before we round up this particular segment right now. Whatever level that she has attained right now is up to the husband. If he is pleased and satisfied that she's okay, maybe she is an OND holder, and then he feels that I think I should push her forward. It is business, not you out there to sit down and criticize. Oh, she doesn't have a PhD. Oh, she doesn't have a this.
She
and
doesn't
that.
know how to speak good English.
It is not their business.
Yeah,
so I'm saying this to the woman out there who is listening and watching us right now, and who is a pastor's wife. Don't feel belittled. You're beautiful and you're very important.
Aww.
You're the pastor's wife. Seek and understand your role very fast. A beautiful, preacher, she's a female preacher, said something. If your husband is, fast, he's like versatile, don't just sit there and say, my own, I only know how to pound paper. I don't know how to use the blender. Go and learn how to use the blender. My own, I only know how to say was I. Go and learn. You can learn on YouTube so that you can sit in front of the car comfortably, engage a conversation, hold the microphone and say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Becky!
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not
Excuse
trying
me.
to be, or you are not
Excuse
already
me.
a pastor? Because
Excuse
I'm
me.
seeing some
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
saying
about
something.
to say
But I'm
that.
saying something because I know there's a woman out there who is feeling suppressed, who is feeling depressed. Oh, they don't value me as anything. They only feel comfortable talking to my husband. Maybe because I don't speak well, or maybe because I don't dress well. Come on.
or even
Don't you weep no more. Go and learn. Learn and sit in front of the throne. In fact, the day you dress very well, in fact, after the pastor has walked in, walk in majestic. Swing your action.
Oh yeah, sure.
Anyway, I don't want
You
would like to marry a
I would
pastor?
like to marry a pastor. I mean,
How many hours can you pray?
Dara. See, I don't want to go into Dara's case right now. We'll take a short break. When we return, these beautiful ladies will be anchoring the show with our guests. She'll be seated right here, in the studio. Don't go anywhere. She's very beautiful.
Very
Don't go
pretty.
anywhere.
Welcome back. It's still EmpowHER on Spectrum Television and Channel 136 and Startimes. I'm sure you're having a swell time out there. All right, we've been brooding much on the role of a pastor's wife, and now we're not just blessed to have a pastor's wife, we're blessed to have a mother of four. Oh, she's so beautiful, phenomenal, dynamic, quintessential wife of the national president of Kingdom of God's Mission International, Pastor Blessing Thompson, is a mother of four, the wife of Dr. David Thompson from Kingdom of God's Mission International, blessed with four biological children and numerous of children.
That's right.
She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications. Welcome, Pastor Mrs. Blessing Thompson,
You're
to
very
EmpowHER.
welcome.
It's good to have you join us at EmpowHER.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Listen up, listen up, listen up. How was the dream?
Look good, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I
I love this flower. It's beautiful.
Truly, truly. So now let's get it straight. Talking about the role of a pastor's wife, what comes into your mind? Because you are a pastor and also a pastor's wife. You are playing two roles. So what comes into your mind?
Thank you very much. I've been a pastor's wife for 12 years now. And by the grace of God, it's not been a bad journey. It's been beautiful. So the role of a pastor's wife first is to be a wife to the pastor. That's the primary calling of a pastor's wife. You're called to wife your husband before you think about any other thing. Because when you come in with the idea of other things like position, like ministry, and all of the privileges that comes with it, you will miss your primary aim. Remember that your husband is the reason why you're also seen in quote in the ministry. So the role of a pastor's wife first is to wife the husband, and the next role is to be a mother to the church. Notwithstanding, there are very wonderful people in the church. The church, the church is a mixture of the good, the bad. In fact, the church is a clinic. There are people who are there to recover from their illnesses. So you're to mother them, whether good or bad. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I like everything you said. Wife as a pastor, you're to be the mother to the church, and the church is like
clinic.
Now, a lot of people don't understand that the pastor's wife and the pastor, they are a team. They tend to see them in singular, like this man and this woman. Now, and then they try to, give duties. They try to, apportion duties. Oh my, you're supposed to do this. Oh my, you're supposed to. Please, you've been a pastor's wife for many years. What do you think, in your own perception and perspective, what would you think is the reason why people behave that way?
Okay, I think the first thing that makes people behave like that is the value they place on the pastor's wife. And the value they place on the pastor's wife comes from what the pastor's wife can show forth, as in what she carries. That's also truth. And I don't subscribe to pastor's wife. They say today's mama is preaching, and everybody's like,
No one's going to church. Or everyone will be seated. There'll be murmuring.
yeah. I subscribe to fire-branded pastors.
That's right.
Yeah. Those ones who can, fit into their husband's shoes. May not be perfectly, but at least they can do something in the absence of their husband.
So are you saying, sorry to cut you, so are you saying that the pastors' wives that, let's say, they don't really know how to preach, they don't really know how to become that firebrand, are you saying that people shouldn't respect them?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. The truth remains that people will always want to detect how you should be. The pastor's wife shouldn't make on. She shouldn't have wig on. She should talk like an angel. She shouldn't rebuke people when they go do wrong. Hey, out there,
you have to, as a matter of must, respect your pastor's wife. You know why? She goes through so much. The pastor comes out and preaches very well, prays for you. There's somebody who is taking that pressure. When he's tiring, and all of that, there's a woman who is missing her husband on bed. And so, if not for anything, for the sake of the sacrifices she's gone through, you need to respect your pastor's wife. Thank you.
Yes, all right, ma. So quickly, we before you came in, we really like trying to talk about this very topic, and the question is, why do you think people have more confidence on their pastor in terms of counseling now?
Yeah.
And then also, do you at any point feel insecure about the excessive bugging of female church members? Because they seem to be like people with the most problematic human beings in church. So has it been any time you feel that way? And also, why do you think they prefer to go to pastor than pastor's wife?
Oh, naturally, opposites attract. So, females will always like to go to the male. But I think that one of the major reasons why that happens is because they can't trust the pastor's wife. Women have this name, gossip. So if I go telling her I've slept with 2 guys, 3 guys last night, that will make the next sermon. So
Church, right?
yeah. So, and what makes it so bad is when some pastors' wives too cannot keep people's privacy. They can't keep people's secrets. And so in a woman's world, in women's world, nothing is hidden. If you let somebody's dirty linen, so to say, outside, another person will hear, and then the person will get to hear, and then the person loses the confidence the person had in you. And that's why. On the other question, have I ever time feel bothered or whatever when females go to my husband? It's natural.
You feel jealous of him?
God said he's a jealous God.
Okay,
And he
so-
made me.
I'm really particular about that particular.
Yes.
Now I'm trying to be very real.
Yes.
Yeah. But at some point you understand that he's just playing his role as a pastor. There's no way he will pastor only the male. He will pastor the male and pastor the female. And the truth is that it's the female that makes the church to move more.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Sorry, a follow-up question, very briefly. Like I said, I'm interested in this particular topic.
Okay.
We're talking about all that particular
Question.
How do you handle it when you sit maybe the day you're counseling with your husband, and let's say on your desk, you see or you turn like this and you see more ladies moving, and they'll be dancing their dance.
And wear some wonderful dresses.
Mama, they'll greet you.
Or they don't even greet you.
Mama, good morning. Oh, they don't even
Go
go.
on.
And they're just going. Then if there's a time to see, no, you sit, you're a woman.
Yeah.
Your flesh and blood for crying all out.
Yeah.
How
How do you
handle
deal
such-
with
at
it?
that moment? How do you handle it?
Okay, number one of the things that helps me out is that I know my husband
That's right.
and I trust him. I know there are certain things he would not do.
Mhm.
There are certain food he wouldn't eat,
Hmm.
no matter how hungry he is.
Ah,
So when you have that confidence in whom you married, you won't be. Some people are just out of this world. They just want to do it so you feel very bad, very terrible. You go into depression. Meanwhile, hypertension is everywhere. So you come to a point where you know who you married, and then you trust him, and then at some point the man too has a role to play.
that's right.
Because they will, all of them will be marching into his office. It's his responsibility to turn their gaze on
That's
the
right.
woman. Because if he's not tactical in handling the matter, he could be roped into a mess too. So some ladies come to church just to get clips of you talking to them and all of that. And before you know it, they blow it in the social media and set you up. So it's the man's responsibility, to which my husband is doing very well. Like Dara said, Dara met my husband before meeting me.
Wow.
And but when immediately she met me, the first day I spoke, she just said, Mama, you're something. And since then, we've been talking.
Yes.
She hardly goes to my husband anymore. So I think that the man has a responsibility to shift the gaze of especially the ladies to the wife while he handles masculine issues, especially now that we have the world trending in this
That's
direction.
right.
Okay,
Thank you very
Pastor
much.
Mrs. Blessing Thompson, let's come back home.
Okay.
Before you walked in, hi and Becky, we had a conversation, and was like, Dara, can you marry a pastor? I want to ask this, and I want you to be so specific. Can any woman be a pastor's wife? If it is yes, what are the characteristics of being a pastor's wife?
Oh, that's serious.
Yeah, right. Because man, you never can tell. There could be a woman out there who is actually listening now.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
then some women feel, oh, I cannot marry a pastor. I
Yeah,
cannot
that's
pray.
right.
I cannot
I
fast.
hear that a lot. So tell us.
Thank you very much. Any child of God can marry a pastor.
See?
Any born
Like you
again
want to be a
Christian can marry a pastor. Why do I say so? If you're born again, one of the things that will eat you up is your love for God. And then the best place to express your love for God is in the ministry, because it gives you a lot of opportunities to reach out to souls who are dying in depression, who are going through things they cannot tell even their biological parents, and all of that. And so it's only people who are not born again who will not be able to handle the intricacies of ministry. So any child of God can marry a pastor, and there are no special specifications or qualifications as to
Who
how
marries
to
a
pastor. Yeah, but if you're a child of God, prayer is not an option. You pray now.
That's
You
right.
have to pray.
Yeah.
It's a routine. It's a lifestyle. Studying the word of God is not something that somebody will have to treat you into. If you're a child of God, you study the word. If you're a child of God, you stay holy, you stay righteous, and all of that. So, which are the basic rudiments of being a pastor's wife?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, I don't know where this topic. I am so very particular about it. And yeah, we are really blessed to have this amazing woman join us today. So quickly, ma'am, you talked about some of those duties of a pastor's wife. Now, how do you manage to meet up with all these duties? I mean, your husband leaves the house very early. You need to be up preparing, like you're trying to prepare a baby to go to school, And then how do you manage to make him your own husband aside from your pastor?
Okay, thank you very much. One of the things that helps us not to manage but to live is the fact that we're all sold out to the purpose. When you're given out to the purpose, you don't stress to do it, because it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes something you just enjoy doing it. So, but how do I manage for him to be my husband instead of being my pastor? Is the fact that we create time for ourselves. Ministry is very tempting. We want to take you all over the place, but you intentionally create time for your spouse. And I mean, pastors are not spirits. They do normal things that human beings do. So you try to create time for yourself, and then try to see how to consummate your marriage, so that while the flock of God are not suffering, the flock at home will also be suffering. Thank you.
Now it is perceived that a woman who is married to the pastor, everybody has so much expectation of her. They expect, even if you came out crying from the room, they expect you to sit up straight and be smiling. They expect you to
How
walk
to
in
walk.
a particular manner. They expect you to talk, demonstrate. Now, who dictates or determines how you express yourself? Is it the church or your pastor? Now, that's just part of the question. Now, the big question is, the woman of God, the pastor's wife, has a gift in her, maybe healing,
Prophecy.
Now, who determines when you should, express that gift? Who? Is it your husband that said, okay, oh yeah, my wife, oh yeah, come and teach Sunday school, oh yeah, my wife, come and do healing, power move and all that. Now, who determines that? You just get up, or is it the church that decides that?
I want to start tackling that question from the standpoint of dealing with entitlement mentality. The fact that you're a pastor's wife does not mean that you can do anything you want to do at any time. I like all the ladies and pastors' wives out there to know that the church has a government, and the fruit of the Spirit begin to show when you're able to control yourself and stay under authority. The centurion said to Jesus that I'm a man under authority. So I know that if you command this to happen, you don't need to come there, it will happen. And so it's the church that determines who should be blessed where, based on the giftings and abilities that you possess. So you don't just jump in to do things. Bible says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." So that's just that.
So quickly, yes, final note before we go now. We know that prayer is very important in every Christian's life.
Yeah.
Especially a pastor. I mean, considering how much value we placed on them as spiritual beings. Now, aside from prayer, what are those things a wife of a pastor should do to make the husband succeed aside from just praying?
Okay, thank you very much. I like that question. One of the things you should do, or some of the things you should do to help your husband succeed, is the fact that you have to buy into his vision. You have to see what he's seeing. You have to drive to where he's going. You have to be very supportive of the things he's doing, as long as he's not doing something wrong. You don't have to fight him even when he's wrong. There's a way to approach him so he doesn't feel you're trying to rub shoulders with him. And that I must say that there are pastors' wives who are not called into the ministry. They are just called as the wife of the pastor. So in that case, your ministry is very versatile. Select his clothes, ensure that his meals are served in time, ensure that he eats in the other room very well. Ensure that he rests well, because the spirit is always willing, but a lot of times the flesh is weak. So you have to ensure that he rests well so that he won't die and leave you. The truth is that if he dies today, the church will go on, but you will feel the vacuum. So those are the things you need to do. Prayer is compulsory, because the devil is fighting tooth and nail to ensure that the man of God falls. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I understand that. I understand a lot of things that she has said, and I know that you out there will learn a whole lot and need to be learned a whole lot. We'll take a quick break and when we return, Empower Her continues.
Alright, you're welcome back to Empower Her on Spectrum Television. You can do well to join this conversation on all our socials at spectrumtv.ng.
Right.
I really had a swell time before we went on that break. I love that woman. You could clearly see that she's an empowered woman. She knows her place. She knows her place, and she's discharging her duty. She knows her role, and she's discharging her duty judiciously as a pastor's wife and also as a pastor.
We truly had a very interesting conversation, because I actually paid attention to all what she said. The church being a clinic.
Yeah. But do you know that's actually true, because a lot of people come into church. Some that just come to watch, let me check style. So this girl is, I don't like the way this hand is. Why did she even wear that kind of heels? Some people that come into worship God, some that come into, why was Mama not looking at why was Mama opening her eyes when she should be closing her eyes? What kind of grammatical error? A lot of, in fact, it's a clinic indeed.
Let's go into our next segment.
The woman of the week.
That's right. Yes.
But wait, I understand. See, I just get to see that we are always excited whenever we are announcing the woman of the week. And before you announce who the woman of the week is, I want to give an opportunity to a woman out there who wants to be our woman of the week, in our next episode. Now, for you to become the woman of the week on our next episode is very simple. Just simply call the number that is displayed on the screen right now, or log onto our website and then drop your profiles there. I will tell you exactly what to do to become our woman of the week. I know that you would love to grace our screen. Don't worry, we're talking about you in our next episode.
Alright. So to the woman of the week, Well, I feel encouraged. Yes, and I am
Of course.
very
And I'm
proud.
proud.
I am very proud. She
I don't even have a
is
shoulder
the
pad, but let me
first
arrange
female.
The first female.
Yes,
Yeah.
automotive mechanic.
Ah.
Her name is Sandra EmpowHER.
Mhm.
She's also known as the woman mechanic.
That's right.
Yes, and she's Nigerian's first female automotive mechanic. EmpowHER has challenged one of the biggest stereotypes in Nigerian society,
Yeah.
that only men can fix cars.
Mhm.
Can you beat that?
You know, she actually she's the founder of Lady Mechanic Initiative, and a non-governmental organization that aims at empowering women, making them understand that we can actually break the barriers. Don't just sit down there and say, mechanic,
It's
I cannot do
too
this for a
tedious.
man. No, no, it's not just for a man. A female can also become a female mechanic, just like Sandra is, right?
You know, to Sandra, I would really say to her, from Sandra,
That's right.
it's something you don't really see women out there do.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, if you ask me, mechanic is one tedious word that I had presumed
like the way I
over the
say it,
years.
of course.
But this is a woman coming out to say, okay, men have been doing this all the years. I will do it. I'm doing it. And then
And
she's not
she's
just
training other women.
yes, and then she's not just doing it as a local champion.
Mhm.
She's famous.
Yes.
Yeah, about Sandra. I mean,
She's really innovative because you know a lot of things that women will feel me I don't know, so how do they fix this plug, which plug is this one, why are they turning this panel
I
like
don't even
this,
know the name. They're just
you know, oh I don't know how to change my oil and all that.
But you know,
Sandra
do you know the funny thing about
is teaching
all
other
this?
women.
Yes, she's also empowering other women. Aside from that, generally to you out there, now I'm going to give you like a tip. You understand?
Mhm.
Now, do you know that for jobs that are termed masculine,
Mhm.
just for men, if a woman ventures into it, you stand 90% chance of winning men and every other customer over to
Very
yourself.
true, very
Because
true.
opposite attracts.
That's right.
Imagine a female barber. Man, if I'm a man, I'm going right there. If I'm naturally,
Because you want to be part
even if a man that does pedicure,
Mhm.
you understand? You see women.
But
treat
can I
women.
shock you? Amen. I have a male stylist. Come on. Because and then even I mean hairstylist and also a dress stylist, a fashion, stylist, yes, all the stylists. They are good at what they are doing.
yeah, they are.
So are women too. The jobs that are termed men, a masculine job. We too, we can do it. Become a female barber, become a female mechanic, become a female pilot. What else?
A female everything.
Everything.
Woman in the world.
That's right.
Female president.
That's correct.
Female. I mean, you have the female that.
You love politics,
Yeah, sure.
Dara loves politics. Anyway, I like her. If she goes for she buys form to become.
form is free. Your only chance is now or never.
Aww.
Anyway, that's how much you can take on this segment. I know you're enjoying the show with Dara, Becky, and you were looking so gorgeous on the set today. Anyway, we want to tell you that we enjoy being on the screen with you at home, sitting there to watch and enjoy our episode today. I am Becky Brenner signing out.
I am Oyime Cyril. Thank you for staying with us on EmpowHER today.
And I am Dara Odoma. Thank you so much for being with us on EmpowHER on Spectrum Television.
That's right.
We see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Nigerian police, which is the only one allowed by across them. Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police force.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered Abiola, who are those people who could be said to be the beneficiaries of the death of Abiola?
Rogers has linked you with some of the killings he did.
He never did.
He linked you with the attempted murder of Hebrew.
He did not.
My lord, the matters council is leading the evidence in our matters.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord. These cases are in court, my lord. I'm just reminding your lordship.
My lord, sorry, my lord, I think I'll be in cross-examination.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.